Let's begin with a bit of a recap on the Beast Paradox phenomenon, as many new people have joined the channel. Unlike Alola, where the Ultra Beast problem was contained, Astara had a large problem with Ultra Wormholes just being ripped open, and for a long time now, causing great shifts to the landscape. Instead of our good friends the Ultra Beasts, these wormholes seem to lead to a different area of Ultra Space where Pokemon originally seen in our world have resided for millennia, and because of that have evolved and shifted to take on a new and shocking appearance. More bestial, I'd say. These Beast Paradox Pokemon in-game act sort of like a mix of Dynamax, Megas, and Regionals. They grow larger in size, their types can change completely, and in the cases of Pokemon not fully evolved, or are weak in their normal form, get stat boosts. But in most cases, their stats get rearranged. The Beast Pokemon can be switched between normal and Beast forms using special devices. So we met Bo, the Silver Peak gym leader, and got his badge, so now we can find the next Beast Titan who lives in this massive mountain cave, connecting to the mainland through this tiny bridge, that if anyone tries to walk on the Beast screams, sending a shockwave and taking you to the icy depths below. So if we can't go over the bridge, where do we go? Well, our mysterious Professor Hibiscus contacts you, knowing of another way revealed as the Silver Coast was eroded away, a cave system that leads directly into the spire and our way in. And with that, we're given our next mode of travel and the special form of ball like the sonic bomb given before. This could be fired out of Rotom to stick Pokemon to the ground, a sticky ball, so they couldn't run away. And a new form of our Rotomech, who so far can run and dash, but what about water traversal?
I am under the water, please help me.
This was a simple change from Rotomech, a Rotom in the form of a boat. I wanted it to have this cute LCD sort of screen where it'd show like pixels bubbling out of its mouth. I wanted a sort of toy boat feel to it, and of course I needed to add in the Rotom flourish to it, an electric sail. I kept the colours the same as Rotomech, but I added blue as the accent as opposed to the purple. And of course, it's not just a swimming kind of Rotom, there's also a sub mode. And with that, we can explore the water Pokemon in a later video, as well as the massive coral reef and the Pokemon in it. Rotom, Swift Swimmer build, a water and fighting type, Hibiscus Lab's greatest invention. This form of Rotomech is usually used by fishermen and other people living on nearby Astaran Islands. However, trainers that prove themselves can have access to this form to catch more elusive water-type Pokemon that call the sea and below home. Professor Hibiscus mysteriously gave you the permission for this form as well as the submarine function to reach the Beast Titan living within the Silver Spire by using a special undersea cavern to reach it. How the Professor knew where this was is unknown at this time. For this form of Rotom to transform, it rapidly is sent back to the lab's holding area to inhabit the ship form, and then it is sent back. This is instantaneous, and many people believed it simply transformed using some kind of liquid metal. When this Rotom is able to be used in battle, it has the ability Swift Swim. So we have our kit and head out to the secret entrance to the Silver Peak Spire, and our first real dungeon. I enjoy dungeons in Pokemon, and we don't really get many nowadays, so there will be a couple in Astara. The first dungeon here has you going up each floor of the dungeon being sneaky. It'd be a bit like It Takes Two, where there would be patches that would alert a special Beast Paradox, that if it gets you would send you back to the start of the floor and damage your Pokemon. This is all kind of leading up to the boss battle at the end, teaching you about sneaking around. But what is this strange Pokemon you have to bear with that would suddenly drop on you? Yeah, you get it. Let's meet Beast Komala. So Beast Komala is based on the great Aussie tradition of drop bears, a sort of sensationalized, horrifying view of koalas that drop down on you and attack. Honestly, with the noises koalas make, I can see it. Instead of Komala being a weird beast, I only changed it slightly, but the log is what I wanted to change. It now becomes a giant tree, but also has petrified to become Agatar's wood, and because of the connections between stones and psychic energy, the log is what hovers, and Komala is just a crushing device. Komala here sort of looks like a Muppet, and I'm living for it. Komala, Beast Paradox form, a Psychic and Rock type, the Drop Bear Pokemon. It seems that the log once held by Komala has been replaced by a petrified piece of stone-like wood, with strange psychic energy flowing out of it. Samples taken have deemed that this is similar energy to the Dream Mist of Mashana. Komala itself is now massive in size and weight, but floats weightlessly till prey is underneath. At that point it will slide off its log and put its whole weight into the target, crushing it. Due to not being seen much, we can only conclude this species is quite dangerous, due to the sheer weight. 4-star threat. Beast Komala has a new ability called Crusher, which causes all physical moves have a chance to lower defense by 1 stage. It also has the ability Levitate. So this thing would just sort of float around, and if you made a noise or went under its shadow, it would drop and you'd black out. The water around the area would also allow you to dive under and avoid the ire of our angry, sweepy bear. So let's now talk about some Pokemon found in the Spire Dungeon.
Mini-Me.
The next line is based on the Min lights phenomena, this interesting indigenous idea of these disc-like lights that, even fast enough to keep up with a car, tales say you don't return if you follow them. Lovely. So a ghost type it is, and of course it's very folklore mysticism, so I gave it the fairy type. It's essentially a cute little ball of light with fun big eyes and some light ray sort of wings that give it almost a Zelda fairy-esque look to it. It's simple and effective. Mini-Me, the light Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. There's always been a strange but rare phenomenon of balls of light passing through walls at night. What was thought to be a ghost was actually in fact just Mini-Me. Unaffected by walls, Mini-Me just casually and lazily pass through anything in their way. If a Mini-Me passes through you, it will feel very cold right at the point it hit. They seem to wander aimlessly till they bump into another Mini-Me, at which point they evolve. When it becomes daytime, Mini-Me are almost impossible to see due to them being almost fully light. Mini-Me has the ability Clear Body and a new ability called Light Body, which causes this Pokemon's moves to not be stopped by walls and other protection moves such as Protect and Reflect. Alright, so here's its evolution. Yep. I wanted this to be sort of Magnemite to Magneton thing, where 2 Mini-Me fuse, and so I did almost nothing to the art. But I like the look of the upside down Mini-Me, so the second part of the Minimon is almost a skull-like shape. Yeah, this is just a transition to the next Evo, really. Minimon, the light Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. Even rarer than Mini-Me, Minimon are constantly slowly rotating together, their 2 bodies fused, but their minds completely separate. Sometimes they can just float in the same place for days on end, and when spotted, people mistake them for wandering spirit of a vengeful ghost and run away. A popular psychic in a star sometimes use Minimon as fortune-telling devices. Whatever the Minimon's forms are is what your future holds. This has given them a bad reputation as seeing terrible futures if you come across one. Minimon's abilities are Clear Body and Light Body. For the final Evo, Minmalgamate, I wanted to have that Kill the Kill outfit vibe. Oh, I don't know if I can show that. But also a mix of a person made of light and a ghost. My favourite thing about this is the midsection outline in the top of the body, sort of giving this unintentional sad face. Like it's grieving ghost. Ooh, spooky. I like the idea of this one maybe being a super strong Pokemon you can find in the dungeon, where you probably can't catch it yet. It'd be a challenge, and if you do, you'd have a very powerful ally in the battle to come. Minmalgamate, the light Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. When large amounts of Minimon clash, they evolve into Minmalgamate. This seems to combine their minds finally and can go about in any direction they wish. Freezing to the touch, their strange, almost plasma-like body is harmless, and the Pokemon itself seems to reflect that. More curious than anything, it will pass through the walls of houses just to curiously watch people go about their days. It is said looking into a Minmalgamate's large eyes will transfix you so it may steal your soul, but all recorded activities lead to this just being a tale. Minmalgamate's abilities are Clear Body and Light Body. Can't be all ghosts up in here. I wanted a very close to Heatmore and Durant sort of rivalry between two Pokemon. So let's take a look at our glowworm Pokemon. And did you know that glowworms aren't really worms at all? Zoom in and you'll see that they're like cool, jagged looking bugs. So the idea was a bug carrying a big lamp butt. I tried to keep the sort of spiky look the real life version has. It has the bug and dark type because mainly I found it funny that a glow bug would have the dark type. It only really works in the non-Japanese versions, but oh well. Lampiluca, the glowworm Pokemon, a dark and bug type. Glowing at the top of caves are Lampiluca. Many thought that they were much of a less complex body plan like Caterpie, but closer inspection shows its many legs and lamp-like backside. When threatened, Lampiluca unleashes a blinding light from its glowing areas in an attempt to blind the aggressor. In Numvert's case, they are built specifically to be unaffected by this, but Lampiluca has the type advantage. Some Lampiluca help to light people's way in caves where it is popularly explored, in exchange for protection from predators. Meet the Numbat, a creature only really found in Western Australia nowadays. Normally Numbats only eat termites, so maybe there'll be a termite Pokemon later, but in this cave they only eat our friend Lampiluca, or at least try. Because Dark is weak to Bug, Numvert has a disadvantage, but due to its lack of eyesight, the blinding ability of Lampiluca is nullified, so they sort of Tom and Jerry or Spy vs Spy situation back and forth. My idea was sort of a mix between a Numbat and a hopping ghost, with some bioluminescence from Lampiluca, not a ghost type because I think it's just more freaky than actual undead. It even has a little flicker tongue like Heatmore. Numvote, the Numbat Pokemon, a dark type. Found almost exclusively in dark caves, Numvote are mostly blind insectivores that prey on the bug Pokemon Lampiluca, which has the strange side effect of giving Numvote a similar glow to certain parts of its coat. It senses the world around it via vibrations and smell, which it can use the long glowing tongue it has to easily detect everything around. Numvote isn't very fast, so when it detects a predator it would rather bury further underground. Numvote will sometimes trick predators by smearing glowing mucus on opposite burrows as they dig away. Numvote has the abilities Inner Focus and Moody. Oh, okay, now we got to the real battle. You got through all the floors and reached the top. A lone arena sits silent, surrounded by an icy blue pool. Stalactites and stalagmites sit everywhere in the cave. In some kind of cutscene, I'm sure, you'd probably step on something and it'd alert the creature. And as you hide behind a pillar, you'd hear the clicking of something. It's looking for you. Let's meet Beast Titan Noivern. So for context, I love Noivern so much. It's a supersonic bat wyvern. It's like a Monster Hunter monster. So when I first started making Beast Paradoxes, even before making videos, Noivern was one of the first, and I still love the design. My idea was a flightless Noivern, losing its eyesight in ultra space due to not needing it, but in return gaining massive ears that glow and blast destructive energies from it. Much fluffier. Whether or not that's due to ultra space or the cold here, that's not important. The wings are smaller with much less definition to show they're kind of useless now. It has big basilisks from Souls game energy with the ears looking like big ol' eyes. I decided on normal dragon, still draconic but definitely no more flying and allows it for dangerous boom bursts with normal type stab. Noivern, Beast Paradox form, the feral scream Pokemon, a normal and dragon type. We surmise that this form of Noivern adapted to a complete darkness where eyes weren't necessary. This creature has massive ears for detecting anything within the area, however. It unleashes city-destroying shockwave sound blasts from its ears. This double use for the ear organ makes it quite scary in battle. This form of Noivern is completely flightless as well. It is capable of extremely fast movement and climbing, which it can cling to most surfaces. An apex predator that has caused major shifts to the Silver Peaks, 5-star threat. This form of Noivern has a new ability called Echolocate, which increases its accuracy and critical hit rate whenever it lands a sound-based move. So let's talk about the actual battle. At first it would be you moving slowly and avoiding sound-making patches around the arena, trying to get close to a Noivern that'd be jumping between outside spires. Every now and then, Noivern would let out a sound, and if you aren't behind a pillar, it'd go berserk and send out a blasting shockwave, damaging your Pokemon a lot if you're not behind a pillar by then. Once you get close enough, you'd be given the chance to fire sticky balls at Noivern's ear openings to try and block them, while it fires blasts of energy down at you and you gotta dodge them. Once the first is blocked, Noivern then breaks the ground on the arena with a massive sound burst, giving way to a water arena. In Phase 2 it would be similar, but instead there would be floating beast Komala that you'd have to dive under the water to avoid getting squashed. Once both ears have been plugged up, you could then battle Beast Noivern with a massively reduced special and physical attack due to your efforts. Upon defeat, a Rotom drone would come down and catch Noivern in a special Beast Ball, and congratulations, second Beast Titan has been subdued and the Silver Peaks are no longer in danger of being destroyed completely. And there we have it. What do you think of the dungeon and the Pokemon within? Comment below your thoughts and give this video a like and a share if you enjoyed it, and sub if you haven't. The next video I want to do some Pokemon fusions like the Infinite Fusion game. Drop some Pokemon combinations or just Pokemon you'd like to see down below be fused. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I don't feel so good.